My name is Eric. Welcome to Waters of Memory. I help you cut through the fog, find your true desires, heal, and live your purpose. You can purchase my services or book a coaching session with me through my website in the link tree down in the description. If you like what I do on YouTube, you can support me for as little as $5 per month. And in the higher tiers, I offer a range of healings, attunements, rites, and empowerments. Now, getting into today's topic. There's a lot of phrases that I don't like in modern spirituality and the New Age community. You can't miss what is for you. Would not be my number one, but it would easily make my top 10. And it's because it is obvious bullshit. We are all going to die. Ergo, it is 100% possible to miss what is for you, unless that phrase is meant as a curse or it is meant in the most ironic or darkly humorous way imaginable. If I were to suddenly walk into traffic tomorrow and get hit by a car, I do not believe that that is what is for me. I would only believe that that is how things happen to play out because of decisions I made, which may have in fact sacrificed what was intended for me in this lifetime. Now, I understand this comes from a good place in many instances. Especially here in the West, we are raised into this type A sort of culture where if you are not spinning your wheels, you are looked down upon and you are judged negatively for the lack of effort. It doesn't matter if you're going anywhere. Nobody actually cares if you are getting somewhere. What they care about is whether or not you have mastered that grind set. If you are always listening to podcasts, if you are working 12 hours a day, just thinking on some of the things I've read from entrepreneurs, how they talk about how you are never supposed to take days off. You are never supposed to have downtime for things you enjoy. In fact, anything you enjoy needs to be basically set on fire until you accomplish this goal or you hit this benchmark with your business. And that doesn't work. That does not work for the majority of people. The more you do, the less you accomplish. When we're looking at real world scenarios where the quality of effort drastically outweighs the amount of effort that you put in. So, in terms of taking pressure off yourself, in terms of being able to say you have room to breathe, in fact, you need to take time to breathe if you want to do the things that you are living to do. That's fine. But there's such a thing as too little pressure. There is such a thing as just wanting to bypass the negative feeling, to soothe it in order to get through the day, in order to withstand more of that spinning your wheels, irrespective of whether it gets you anywhere. One exercise that has been invaluable to me is to take that pressure and lean in, to take that knowledge that my lifespan is finite and to play that out to its natural end. To think about my life, either many decades in the future, after I've died of natural causes, or to think about how I would view my life if it were to suddenly end tomorrow, and examine what do I think is important right now that is not important at all? What am I not doing that is causing me to lose respect for myself? What could I do that would increase the respect that I hold for myself? What am I so worried about in this moment that nobody is going to remember? when this is all said and done? Whose opinion am I worried about? Who, in all honesty, by the time that I die, I'm probably going to have forgotten their face and their name. And it is very likely that we won't have seen each other for decades by that point. When you put things into that kind of perspective, it burns through a lot of the emotions that we resist. And when it comes to criticisms I have of the New Age movement in general, it's how it meets resistance, or what it calls negativity. It's impossible to be positive all the time. And every time people are pushing that, I want to strangle them like they're wearing the happy helmet from Ren and Stimpy. I know I'm aging myself with that reference, Gen Z. You probably won't get it. But you 90s kids, you 80s kids, you know what I'm talking about. Happy, happy, joy, joy. Look it up on YouTube if you're too young. You can get some temporary relief by taking that weight off your shoulders, by saying, I have time. I don't have to rush things. But anything that's worth having in life, anything that is worth becoming, it's going to require effort. And I am not speaking from a high horse. And I am also assuming that I'm not the odd man out when I say that there are many times that when I have received these efforts to soothe, yeah, it took the pressure off. But it also brought me back to a mindset of, oh, I don't need to bother doing anything about these things that I say are important to me today. I can take the rest of the evening to goof off, eat chips, maybe watch something on Netflix, and get a good night's sleep, which tended not to be so good because I'd get a little too carried away with the chips and the Netflix. And then the next day would come, the anxiety would rise again. And once again, the answer that you get from everybody is, don't worry about it, chill out, you can't miss what is for you. It's like, okay, I'm going to relax, and the cycle repeats. That has to end somewhere. Somewhere your nose has to meet the grindstone, pedal has to get put to the metal, and if it doesn't, life is going to pass you by. And if you love and respect yourself, you will find the moment where I have to get things done. I have to commit to the thing that I want to accomplish. The one way in which I think this is true, that you can't miss what is for you, that isn't darkly humorous or ironic, is that as long as you are breathing, you can find ways to fulfill your dharma. If you came into this life and you were destined to have children, but for whatever reason, that didn't work out, you can always work with kids. And adoption is going to be an option for a lot of people. There's always some kind of hope, some silver lining in our tragedies. And our destiny cannot truly be stolen from us as long as we still hold on to our soul, and so long as we still draw breath. But there is no such thing as a purpose that requires nothing from you. We wouldn't grow if such a thing existed. And we don't achieve a healthy balance through a complete denial of the negative polarity, or of the unpleasant experiences and emotions that rise when we think about where we currently are relative to where we want to be. We achieve balance by knowing we will die. but we have everything that we need in this moment to find some way to embody and express our soul's true desire and purpose. So, even if it is only in small ways, think about how every single day you can do things that bolster your self respect and move you in the direction of what you truly want to accomplish. And don't let perfect be the enemy of good. The grind set is not how you actually get things done. Yes, sometimes the things that you want in life will have you grinding extensively. But you'll know when those times have arrived. You're not going to waste your energy just because you think that is what you should be doing. That's what you end up doing when you're trying to impress other people and you are sticking to what you think you should do and not what you are driven by your soul to do. And when you are driven by your soul to commit yourself entirely to a specific effort or work, it's like it possesses you. And when that time comes, let it move. Let that fire consume you, move through you, within reason, obviously. Take care of your responsibilities. But let it be something that brings you joy. Even if it's not always fun, it leaves you with a sense of contentment. And if you find yourself sitting on your hands and continuously relieving pressure instead of going after the things that you think you want or that you say you want, then take a step back and examine. Because either you are not being honest with yourself about the things that you want in life, or there is something that you are clinging to in your current life, in your current life structures, that you don't want to let go of. There's something that brings you comfort. There's something that you're getting out of this current arrangement. Even if you don't consciously see it as benefiting you, and even if you don't consciously perceive it as comforting you. When the time comes, no matter the circumstances in our lives, it is always on us to answer for our time and how we've spent it. We can only look to ourselves when it comes to how our life turns out. You don't have to accomplish everything that you have in mind. But I can only speak for myself. I can't imagine that anybody would be happy looking back, knowing that there was more they could do that they left undone. Thank you all for joining me. I look forward to the next video.